What's up guys, Broken Notes here with some more King's Raid, and in this video I'll be giving a more in-depth opinionated information on all the unique weapons except for the 3 newest heroes. I felt like my last video was lackluster, subpar. It was pretty bad. It was way too brief and just not enough information. So to make it up to you guys, I will give a lot more information, and hopefully I can help you guys decide on a unique weapon if you still have your 100-day event ticket, or if you have the necessary resources to actually get a unique weapon. Alright, so let's go to Arena and let's look at the unique weapons. So first up is Cases. And also, I will be rating all of the unique weapons on a 3-star scale. 1 is bad, 2 stars is decent, and 3 stars is excellent, godlike, whatever you want to call it. It's a worthwhile unique weapon that you should focus on if you have that hero. Alright, first up is Cases. Each attack has a 25% chance to inflict physical damage on enemies to 160% of the attack. Overall, it's a decent unique weapon that gives extra DPS all around. I will probably give an extra 5% buff proc rate. Overall, I'll give it 2 stars out of 3. Next is Frey. While auto-attacking for a 40% chance, heal the ally with the current lowest HP for 20% of the caster's attack. Excellent raid and PvP unique weapon. I would highly recommend getting this weapon because it provides a lot of survivability and it's just really good in raid and PvE. Overall, I would give it 3 stars. Definitely a 3-star worthy unique weapon. Next is Cleo. Ambers explode every 4 seconds, dealing magic damage of 40% of attack to enemies nearby. It's a great unique weapon that grants extra DPS in all scenarios. I would recommend, but overall I'll probably give it 2 stars out of 3. Next is Roy. Each auto attack has a 25% chance to inflict physical damage on enemy, 50% of the attack, and inflict bleed. It's an okay unique weapon that gives Roy extra assassination capabilities. I would recommend. 2 star out of 3. Next is, I'm probably gonna butcher his name, Gaul. It's the barbarian. But let's talk about his unique weapon. For each 1% of HP that is lost, increase attack and attack speed by 0.8%. I think this unique weapon is insane, but it's a late game unique weapon. So you need to have the stats necessary to actually get full value out of this unique weapon. So when you have this unique weapon, you want to combo this with HP, magic, physical, defense, and lifesteal. Not to mention, since his attack and attack speed is increased while using this unique weapon, his mana regen will also be affected, which equals more 3-second knockbacks, attack buffs with AoE cleanse, and 4-second freeze on the enemy, and combos with his attack buff passive. Highly recommend this unique weapon. If you have this hero, get this unique weapon. You won't regret it at all. Okay, so next is Philip's unique weapon. Okay, upon receiving damage, stack Dragon Rage, which lasts for 10 seconds. The hero's attack and defense rises by 0.8% and can be stacked up to 100 times max. Excellent unique weapon. Gives Philip loads of tankiness and damage. Highly recommend. You should get this unique weapon. It's really good. Next is Lacrack. Upon auto attacking, there is a 25% chance that attack speed will rise by 20% for 10 seconds. There is a 20-second cooldown for this effect. I think that this unique weapon is pretty lackluster. It deserves a buff. If I could buff it, I would give maybe a 35% proc rate, maybe even blind a random enemy for 5 seconds and give a a minus 5% reduction on its cooldown, so it'll be 15 instead of 20% cooldown. Overall, I think this unique weapon is pretty bad. 1 star. Next is Kala. Electrified enemies receive magic damage 50% of attack every 5 seconds and may be stunned for 2 seconds for a 10% chance. I think this unique weapon is pretty bad because of the proc rate. But it should get it like a 10% bonus proc rate, which equals 20%. But it also gives extra DPS because of its passive and unique weapon working together. So I will give it 1 star, but maybe down the line it will receive some buffs to make it more viable. But definitely, if you have Kala, I will still get this unique weapon because it will be useful in the long run. Next is Epis. Upon auto attacking, for a 25% chance, deal a magic attack of 80% and recover HP equal to the amount of damage dealt. Awesome unique weapon that gives insane survivability and give Epis extra assassination capabilities. Highly recommend, and she will just regen so much HP. She also have abilities that makes her regen HP if you max it out. So this unique weapon, plus just maxing out her abilities, she would just be insane all around and hard to kill. Next is Celine. Upon inflicting critical hit, attack speed increased by 20% for 10 seconds. For the duration, auto attacks will fire an additional arrow worth 100% physical damage. If you have Celine, just get this unique weapon. There's nothing more to say. This unique weapon is godlike. If you have her, get this unique weapon. There's nothing more to say. There's nothing more to explain. This unique weapon is crazy. Next is Maria. Upon a critical hit, deal continuous magic damage equal to 120% of attack to the enemies for 10 seconds and reduce their recovery rate by 50%. Okay. Excellent unique weapon that gives an astronomical amount of extra damage. That ratio, 120%, really good. With an extra add-on that reduced the enemy's recovery rate by 50%, highly recommended. And just that added bonus is not even needed for it to be a 3-star worthy unique weapon. It's just this extra goodies on the unique weapon. It's good all around. Definitely, you should get this unique weapon if you have her. Really good, really good. Next is Maruru. Deal physical damage equal to 100% of attack every 5 seconds to enemies in a random range every 5 seconds. Enemies hit by this effect take 20% additional physical damage. This unique weapon gives extra DPS to the enemy. Would recommend. Really good unique weapon. It's maybe I'll give it a 2.5. But just to simplify, I'll give it 3 stars because she's already a really good DPSer and she does really good damage. She have CC, and definitely I would recommend this unique weapon if you have her, and you won't regret it. Next is Lorraine. Every 10 seconds, deal magic damage equal to 40% of attack to enemies afflicted with poison and reduce magic defense by 10%. Each stack of poison increases damage by 20%. I think this is a high damage unique weapon that makes Lorraine more valuable and useful. So I think on her own, she's not that good, but she's really good for raid. Red Raid Dragon, because she does excellent CC and she reduces that bar like crazy. But if you want to use her in other places, I'd say that this unique weapon is needed in order to make her a lot better. But this unique weapon is definitely a 3-star worthy unique weapon. If you have her, get this unique weapon, you won't regret it. Next is Klaus. When hero's HP is below 35%, reduce 20% of physical damage upon the whole team, increase attack by 100% of hero's physical damage, and gain immunity to status effects. Awesome unique weapon that gives an AoE buff and increased Klaus damage, but it's kind of useless against the magic comps in Arena and Raid. Especially since Pavel, Maria, I'm gonna butcher his name, but the Dark Elf, Daimil, Jane, and Luna, you know, they run rampant in arena, so it's really bad against them, and it's really bad against Raid since everybody does, well, all the enemies does magic damage. I'm not sure about the when he does the swipe, when the dragon does the swipe. I'm not sure if that's magic or physical damage. I'm not sure, or when he does like the slam with his claws. So overall, I'll give it 2 stars. Next is Refi. Every 20 seconds, the ally with the lowest HP turns invisible for 5 seconds. The ally becomes immune to any physical damage, and HP won't drop below 1%. MP recovery increased to 120% per second. Whoa. Definitely a really strong supportive unique weapon that gives a second chance for allies and insane MP recovery. Highly recommend. Really good unique weapon, and if you have Refi, you should get this unique weapon. So next is Daimyo, the Dark Elf. Upon attacking an enemy, inflict magic damage 100% of attack by a 10% chance and reduce skill cooldown by 10%. It's the unique weapon gives off nice abilities, but it's hindered by a terrible proc rate. Maybe it should be buffed by 5 or 10%. I think that's needed, but I'll give this 1 star because of the low proc chance of it actually getting off. So next is Reyna. After a successful critical hit, gain a 8% attack speed and 20% crit damage buff for 15 seconds. Can be stacked up to 5 times max. Wow. Strong and swift assassination tool that makes Reyna a beast. You should definitely get this unique weapon if you have her. You won't regret it. Pavel. Every 15 seconds, inflict frost and deal magic damage 40% of attack to 2 random enemies. Freeze the enemy for 5 seconds if they are already inflicted with frost. I mean, it gives bonus damage and more CC. Like, what else can you ask for? Definitely highly recommended. 3 stars. And if I haven't said it already, Reyna is 3 stars also, if I missed that. So next is Demia. Upon blocking an enemy attack, there is a 10% chance all skills cooldowns will be reduced by 1 second. The low proc chance also hinders this unique weapon. It does deserve a higher proc chance. Maybe 30% is necessary. But overall, it's a 1 star worthy unique weapon. Next is Naela. Upon dealing a critical hit, deal constant physical damage, 100% of attack for 10 seconds. Enemy receives 20% increased physical damage for the duration. Extra DPS and decrease the enemy's physical defense. Awesome for DPS teams. Highly recommend. If you have her, you should get her. And like myself, I definitely picked up this unique weapon during the 100-day event. So, hey, if you have her, get this unique weapon. You won't regret it. Next is Rodina. Upon attacking an enemy, inflict additional physical damage amounting to 100% of attack at a 10% chance and knock back the enemy. I think this unique weapon is pretty terrible. It needs a higher proc rate and maybe a rework altogether. It just feels really useless. But if you're using her third ability, I forgot what it was called, but you know, when she's open fire, you know, when she says that. I mean, if the unique weapon procs when she's doing that and you crit and you have bonus crit damage, that will like straight up probably one hit any like squishies or any backline or maybe even midline. But like a 10% chance to proc is like really unreliable, and good luck having to actually proc at that exact moment. 1 star. Next is Morai. Every 10 seconds, inflict magic damage, 80% of attack upon enemies that have flame stacks. Each stack of flames increase damage by 2%. There's also a 14% chance that the enemies with flame stacks can be knocked down. Wow, it's pretty good. Grants extra DPS and CC, but the 14% might be a little too low. 20% would be better, maybe even 25%. Overall, I highly recommend this, and I think it deserves 3 stars. Definitely a good unique weapon. Next is Baldwin. Every 30 seconds, increase 40% of attack crit hit chance, and attack speed of one party member for 10 seconds. I think it's an excellent unique weapon, but it's hindered by RNG and high cooldown. So his unique weapon can actually proc on your tank, or even it can proc on Baldwin itself, which would be really useless. Like, you want it to proc on your DPSer, but it's like, it's RNG, so it's not reliable, and it's 30%, so it's a 30-second cooldown. So you might get it off, like if you're in arena, you might get it off one time before the match is decided with the victory or win. So 2 stars. It's still a decent unique weapon. So next is Jane. Every 4 seconds, deal magic damage 10% of attack to nearby enemies and reduce their attack by 10%. When her passive activates, recover 30% mana. So it debuffs enemies and recovers mana when her passive activates. Pretty good unique weapon. It's pretty good. I would definitely recommend if you have her. And you know, she's a really popular hero altogether. Really good for Magic team comps. So 3 stars. If you have Jane, get this unique weapon. You won't regret it. Next is Leo. Upon auto-attacking, there is a 10% chance to deal 100% extra magic damage and erase positive status effects. This unique weapon is hindered by a low proc chance. Nothing less, nothing more. So, oops, hey, chill. So, having that proc, good luck. It's a 10% chance. 1 star, meh. Next is Fluss. Every 10 seconds, increase own attack and attack speed by 12% for 30 seconds, stacks up to 3 times. Awesome unique weapon that gives Fluss extra assassination capabilities, but you have to survive until his unique weapon gives full value, because, you know, Fluss, he's squishy. So if you can actually survive for his unique weapon to proc 3 times, definitely he's gonna pop off and put in some work. Finally is Luna. While auto attacks deal 40%. Wait, if I haven't said already, he is a 3-star unique weapon for Fluss. If I missed that. Okay, for Luna. While auto attacking, deal 40% additional magic damage to a random enemy. So it's a basic unique weapon that gives extra DPS. It makes Luna even stronger. I'll give it 2 stars. But you know, if you have her, definitely worth it, because she's really good at destroying the enemy's back line in arena. And really good DPS. I like her. She's really good. Overall, that concludes my video. I hope this was a lot more helpful, because I think my last video was pretty dang bad. It was pretty bad. So hopefully this video was more informational. And hopefully you guys learned something from this video. Hope you guys have a great day, great night, all that good stuff. And I'll have some more King's Raid content in the near future. Peace out, guys. Informational.